Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday and welcome to the Weekend Habit, hashtag Guru Chat. My name is Mary Manzano, and that's at underscore Mary Manzano on Twitter, if you're on Twitter. And I'm here joined by Lisa at the Requisos. So I hope that you guys are having a fun Saturday morning. And we're once again here for another episode. So, Lisa, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. It's me again. It's so nice to see you. Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to be back in Guru Chat.
There, I'm really happy that we have this again weekend habit, and we encourage a lot of the teachers that we have both on Facebook and YouTube, and also on Twitter to join us every Saturday. Like especially the Filipino teachers. I think we've been talking about this for the last month or so, that we would like more teachers to grow their personal learning network or professional learning network over on Twitter as well as the other social media platforms. So I'm just going to go and share my screen and let you know what our topic is for the week. Let me just share my screen here. All right, so basically what we're going to talk about this week is stage 3 of design thinking, because the last 2 weeks we've been talking about our gripes and our challenges about education, and alam mo yon, mga reklamo namin about education in general and online learning. And so the reason why we are doing that is because we want to get to a point when we can finally ideate and think about ideas and how to develop and create a culture of innovation in online learning, and also increase engagement with the students. So right now we are going to be discussing stage 3 ideation. So here's the format. So for those people who are not aware or are first timers here in Guru Chat, again, welcome. We do have a comment box down below. So please, if you have any answers, questions, comments, hellos, just put it in the comment field and we'll be happy to answer them or even engage with you. The other thing is that our format is a Q1A1 format. So we're going to be asking questions, and we are basically asking for answers from our PLN, or that's what we call it, our professional learning network. And there, wow, I've got Alfonso right here. So let me just show him here. Thank you so much for supporting. Like I'm a big fan of your work. And again, congratulations in making it to the VIA 20 Google Innovator. So Alfonso is one of the newer new Google Innovators.
Wow, congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us today. So today we're just going to ideate, because the last 2 weeks we have been discussing issues and problems, and so many things cropped up, such as student engagement. How might we keep a balance between family life and teaching from home, and those are things that we really want to address. So today we are going to scrape the idea bucket and see what ideas we have, and I really hope that you're also ready to sketch, because we are also going to sketch. Are you ready to draw, Lisa?
Not really.
Are you ready? Well, we are going to be drawing as well. So,
I saw that question.
are you going to skip that question? So I put in an introduction slide in here. Introduce yourself, your location, and share an opportunity for improvement that you saw this week, either in yourself or in education, like in myself. My name is Mary Manzano, once again, and I'm from Manila in the Philippines. That's why it's early morning here. And for those people who are joining us, I know that it's Friday evening in some parts of the world, and maybe even noon. So hello. And an opportunity for improvement that we saw this week, so many. Just to let you know, for the public school system in the Philippines, they just moved it from August 24 opening classes to October 5. So yes, there's a huge opportunity for improvement in the delivery of the classes in the modalities that they have chosen. So in our public school system, we've been seeing like the modality of broadcasting to be used, but it's not really been for me, it's not been satisfying. There needs to be a lot more improvement on that front. So yeah, that's the one for me for this week. How about you, Lisa? Oh, let's add Riza. Hi, Riza.
Hi, good
Hi.
morning. I'm late for the party.
Hi, Riza. So I would like to introduce you guys to Riza Picho, who's also a teacher here in the Philippines. And yes, you're just in time. so, so, Lisa, what do you think is your opportunity for improvement?
Well, definitely, CISO updates are now out, and so I
Yes.
would need to figure out how to do that, how to incorporate that in my synchronous and asynchronous lesson, use the new tools, and then as well as I need Riza, my Flipgrid guru, to like
I'm
I'll be
always right
using her
here.
more. Yeah, like I've seen her posts on Twitter and I've seen how she uses Flipgrid in her classroom, in her
Yeah.
online classes. And I'm just floored at how much engagement she gets and how exciting, like how exciting burpees are based on what she's done. So,
For those people who don't know, Riza is a physical education teacher, and she's using Flipgrid, to demonstrate burpees.
Yes.
I cannot
Yes.
do burpees. So hard. Yeah, so I'd like to say hello again to the people who are watching us right now. We've got some viewers this week, and we're very happy to have you here, and we hope to have you again next week. Okay, so Riza, how about you? What's your opportunity for improvement that you saw this week?
Okay, so good morning, everyone. I'm Lisa here. I'm a physical education teacher, fifth grade. So, improvement that I've seen this week is that I think because we started online learning early, so I'm gonna
Yes.
go back to uh, slowly blending in the kids to the routine because
Yeah.
um, with all the subjects they're learning, I think what I'd like to improve on is for how to actually guide them on their tasks because at some point, even if I gave instructions specifically, because of the many tasks that they do, they get disoriented and confused. So a
Yes.
lot of I've made a lot of infographics using Canva, and then from that, I up smash it with Flipgrid and then screen record. It is what you do: first step, second step, third step. So as what Lisa have mentioned, I've screen recorded my seesaw class because of the internet connection. It was really bad in my other class that it's like we ended up hanging. So I
Yeah.
wasn't able to end the class clearly, and they were like, "Where's Miss Riza? What's happening?" So when I got connected again, I just told them, "Don't worry. The things that we missed, you'll still be able to watch it. I will screen record the parts of the class that we didn't discuss really well." So that's
Yeah.
the thing that I need to improve on. It's actually both for myself and my student, but on my part it's really how to make it more specific for them.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so thank you so much. Chris is here as well. Hi, Chris. Thanks for joining us
Yes.
from YouTube. By the way, I'd like to just do a shout out again to Alfonso because he's actually joining us from Periscope. I totally forgot to announce that we are now live as well on Periscope as well as YouTube and Facebook. So people are actually joining us from so many different sides and so many different platforms. I'm
Wow,
like really excited
welcome.
about that. So, Chris, hello from Sydney on a learning spree at the moment, trying to learn a new language. That's a lot. Improve my guitar playing
Yes.
and typing, taking a Photoshop
Photoshop.
course, and getting a drone license. Yeah, that's a lot of things. Yeah. always be learning. That's what he said. And Alfonso said, yes, they need a proper walkthrough. I use the IRAD extension to create step-by-step tutorials. Well, I really like IRAD. My only issue there, I think, Alfonso, is that for Filipino teachers, it could be quite pricey because I don't know. Do you have a special pricing for education? Let me know because IRAD is currently going at around $100, I think, per month, right? But it's for lack of a better word, freaking amazing. Like when it is so good. That means you know when you screencast, right? So when you screencast something, it just records the video. IRAD, what it does is it breaks down your steps in the video and makes it into an interactive tutorial. So you might want to
Right.
check it out. It's really amazing. The first time I saw it, it's just wow. I was really wowed by it. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Fons. And hi, Fab. So we've got people joining from Facebook, from YouTube, and from Periscope. I'm excited. And also from Twitter. There.
Yes.
So yeah, so let me see. We've got the first question is up right now, and this is for deferring judgment. So, for all of you who are on Twitter as well, please don't forget to use the hashtag GuruChat, okay, when you reply. So, right now, we're going to defer judgment. What does that mean? It means there are no bad ideas, okay? So, what ways do you use to encourage that ideation in your classroom? Like encouraging even what you would probably call a bad idea. How do you encourage, ideation and sparking ideas in your classrooms? So, who wants to go first? Tit tit crickets.
Well,
I don't.
no, no, no. No, just trying to figure out the phone and the laptop. Is crazy. It's crazy. For ideation, we usually, because we do PYP, we use the PYP framework. And so
Mhm.
definitely, as much as possible, we try to anchor our units into something that is connected to the real world. So
I
usually
see.
we'll present a social issue
Mhm.
or even just a simple problem in the classroom that,
Yeah.
like that counts the unit. So let's say
Okay.
we're talking about how we organize ourselves, and that's how, let's say that that's our theme, and then under that is our topic would be community. So
Mhm.
we'll think about what are the things that we see in our community. Are there any problems that we think we need to address? So it's always rooted into real world as much as possible, as much as we can. We
I
try and
see.
find issues that we can anchor our ideas on. So yeah, that's how we use ideation.
That's nice. And it
Yes,
becomes a
that's
really kind of an open environment, right? Because I think one of
Yeah.
the things that sometimes students are scared about when it comes to putting forth their ideas, and I think this is true, right? Even for adults in the workplace, is that when you put forth an idea, like if you're a teacher in a school, sometimes you're reluctant to say an idea because you're thinking maybe they would judge me for it or judge me.
Well,
That's so
not only
judgmental.
that. Yeah, exactly. But not only that, as well as I've noticed, you're afraid to put out ideas because then you will have to follow through it.
yes.
And you'd end up
It comes
doing,
with a
and you'd end up
responsibility,
doing
Sam.
things by yourself. Yeah, so you'd end up doing things by yourself because people are so afraid to step up, and which is normal. Of course, you are afraid to step up. It's out of your comfort zone. So, but I think that that's already a lost opportunity if we don't do
Yes,
that. And
if you don't
I
speak
should
up.
listen to I should I should listen to myself. But so I mean, I think it's that, right? Like, I think that's the reason why many people are uncomfortable
Yeah.
to put themselves out there because
Yes,
they have to. Okay, so what do we do next? And you're like, why me? So yeah.
I think
exactly.
I shared this one before. Like, if you've read Jenny Magira's Courageous Adventures, like part of the stuff that she was sharing there was that she submitted a grant, like an application for a grant for iPads, and it was approved. And when it was approved, she cried. And her husband said, "Okay, it's probably tears of joy," but she said, "No, now I have to follow through on all of the stuff I put in the grant." Yeah, there really is a responsibility towards following through with your ideas. I do like
Yes.
something that Chris said on Twitter. He said, "I think my favorite ideation technique is from my friend Brookhauser." So that's at Brookhauser for those people who are listening, who gets his kids to do an activity called the Bad Idea Factory. So getting his kids to start by coming up the worst ideas to a problem. So you basically start with the bad ideas, and then you basically build on that idea and improve on it. That's a start with a bad idea and improve on it is, I think, um, a great idea. Let's
Step.
just hashtag this one. Like, it's a good step. Like it's just a step. Like don't think that you failed. And
Yes.
there's another one here. I've got one
Right.
for funds. I work with adults and teachers need to feel psychological safety to share a judgment-free zone. You know,
Yes.
maybe we should have like a poster somewhere. Like I know they said start with an idea. So today we're just gonna be full of ideas. It may be bad ideas, so don't judge. Like start with a poster, you know, that says when you cross this threshold or this door, no more judgments. So, and I think that would be true for like staff meetings as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So same. I think that's a good thing to do. Like have some psychological safety as well for your team. How about you, Riza?
Okay, so in our practice, we usually try to use themes
Mm-hmm.
or questions like essential questions and then enduring understanding, just similar to Lisa, connected to real world problems. And then we have lots and lots of prompt questions to
Yeah.
encourage students for to voice out their ideas, because sometimes I think it's the culture. If you as a teacher would always keep on asking children or would always encourage them to, you know, voice out their ideas, share them, then it develops that skill. But
Yeah.
if, you know, but if you will just present the idea and then you won't encourage them, they don't actually really indulge on the question or on the idea. So it's more
Mm-hmm.
of like, it's really the bigger responsibility is with the teacher, how you pose it out to them in such a way that they are encouraged to really engage with you and give you um, ideas that could really connect to what you are
Yes.
trying to solve.
Yeah.
So something like that.
For
So
sure.
although in my practice it's hard because you have, for this to encourage ideation in the classroom, it has to start at a young age. You cannot, you know, start when they're in
Mm,
fourth grade, fifth grade. At the as young as
yeah.
nursery, I think that's where they really have lots of ideas, and then really weird ideas that it just pops out in their mouth, and then, where do you get those ideas, things like
Yeah.
that. But I think it's our culture. Honestly, people would argue, but it's in our culture that some ideas of the kids are brushed off. So I think we have to stop that. We have to stop
Yeah.
that practice, because in reality, some teachers, like, you have 20 kids, 30 kids, and how do you encourage ideation
Mhm.
in such a class with those class
A
numbers?
large.
Yeah, large
Yeah.
class numbers, diba? So I
Yeah.
think uh, yun nga, it's the I do not want to say the burden, but it's really the with the teacher to, you know, um, honor the ideas of the kids at a young age, so that when they
Yeah.
grow up, get into adulthood, you know, they won't shy off offering their
Yes.
ideas.
I think that's also the reason why, as adults, we are very, very reluctant because we've kind of been trained, you know, throughout our lives to not say anything that might shame us or something like that. So that's
Spanish
really a good thing.
colonization.
I know. So I'm just gonna tweet that over. I'm just gonna put that comment onto Twitter because I really like that. Like it's for the teacher to honor the ideas of the kids. It's um it's a really good thought to leave to our PLN there. So let me just tweet that there. And I think I've got Q2 up right now, like keeping in mind creating a culture of innovation in online learning. I don't know if you hear the noise outside, but I think there's construction happening outside of my door. So, keeping in mind creating a culture of innovation in online learning, list down some ideas, to keep students engaged. So, guys, once again, we're deferring judgment here. We can start with bad ideas. We can just spew out any ideas. Think about what if we, that's why I put the what if we up there. Like, what if we do this? That can be like impossible, right? I just want to share something though. Like in a staff room, I would normally put a box. So this is a box. I know that people have a suggestion box, right? But some of these suggestions don't get opened. Well, I myself, I have a personal idea box. So this idea box, I used to put it in my notepad before, but they get lost. So now I have this habit of just writing them down in a piece of paper, just folding it and putting it into the idea box. And when I kind of go dry on ideas, I open that box and I just rifle through it and read some of the stuff that I've written there. And to be honest with you, like the online art gallery that I have right now was a bad idea because I considered that as an idea that I had and discarded like around a year and a half
Oh,
ago.
that's
It was
interesting.
it's an idea that okay, I had this idea. I want an online art gallery. Oh, somebody already did that, and so I just wrote it down and put it there, just in case. but
Yeah, yeah,
and now
yeah.
and now the pandemic happened, and a lot of my artist friends they kind of they couldn't put forth their art out there because exhibits were canceled, and I remember, hey, I've got that idea. Where was that thing?
Right.
Where I'm gonna build an online art gallery, and we did it like in just a few months. So I just want to do a shout out to Fabrian again, and Fab is our chief curator in art stuff. Sandra is here. Hello, Sandra, for joining us. Sandra is from Ateneo de Manila, and she
Wow,
said that she
welcome.
totally agrees with, yeah, with what we were saying a while ago to keep things open and to defer judgment for. So, any ideas that you have for for online learning as well as creating that culture? Because I think if you don't have the culture, it's very difficult. How do you create
Yes.
that culture, right?
I think it, for me, Mary, I think it begins
Yeah.
with a triangle: the school,
Yeah.
the parents, and the students. So you can't uh, go online right away without the collaboration of the three, because the early
Okay.
years learners, they need assistance from their parents or any adult at home, and then
Mhm.
the young adults, they still need assistance somehow, but it's like GRR, gradual release of responsibility, at that age. But still,
Mhm.
at the initial stage of online learning, there has to be, comprehensive, I might say that word, because you need a firm foundation of their online behavior, skills,
Mhm.
things like that, to really keep them engaged. Because if you expect a lot, and then
Mhm.
you did not prepare your kids, your teachers, and the parents of all
Right.
the things that they might experience or encounter during online learning, then it's
Yeah.
going to be chaotic. So,
Yeah, that's
if I
good.
might
I
list down, so parent orientation, very,
yeah.
very important. And then kids orientation, which is really just, play around with the applications that you need to use, not even submitting tasks, because submitting
Oh,
tasks,
nice.
it's like, it connotes to them that it's it's like, do this.
Spread it.
You don't have any options,
Spread
but
it.
you have to do
Yeah.
that. So,
Right.
introducing online learning with that kind of mindset that you have to submit or attach your work, it
Mm.
makes learning like robotic.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mhm.
engagement is not there. It somehow
Yeah.
teaches them, I'm gonna teach you this content, submit it to me, and it ends there. When what we really want is, this is what we're going to learn. If you're learning something, if you get confused, tell me, communicate to me, things like that. So I'd rather that we teach children or students basic communication. How do you ask your teacher things that confused you about the content or things like that? So those are
Yeah.
my list of ideas. So,
Yeah.
and then teacher preparation, because you don't just prepare content, you prepare your mindset as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I like some of the ideas that I'm seeing right now. I've got like let me just backtrack a bit. I've got something here from Betcha Boy. Make up
Yeah,
your
we
mind,
added
Chris.
that
When are
thing.
you joining us? You're joining us both on Periscope and on YouTube.
Yes, YouTube.
Yeah, so he said that it's the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Yeah,
Accepting
that's
it.
a really good quote there. And then Fons was saying, what if we allow more student choice to demonstrate their learning of a topic? That's true, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
true.
I think that's also
And
what Lisa was saying, that just to be able to demonstrate their learning, have us hashtag kid orientation as well with the
yes.
tools. Sandra was saying regarding the culture. Sandra, I know your pains. I feel you. And
I
Font is
can
saying,
relate.
I love that. So Font is saying parents need to be considered as part of the learning
Part of the
community.
learning
Hashtag
community.
teamwork.
Yes. Yes.
And
Online
also
learning.
hashtag digital sportsmanship. I like that. So I learned another phrase this week. So
Yes.
this week's phrase, and it's coming from Fonz, is digital sportsmanship.
Sportsmanship.
Our phrase last week was technological
Technological
fluency.
fluency.
Technological fluency.
Yes.
Yes, this week it's digital sportsmanship. I'm totally gonna write that down because of once we're learning something like a phrase every week that we kind of remember, and you remember and you kind of practice it throughout the week. I'd like to learn more about this digital sportsmanship that you were talking about. I really do. Uh, Chris was saying, I like variety. What can I say? That's why he's in both channels. Okay, great. I do have something here. Like I said a while ago, be ready to sketch. I hope you are. Sketch an idea. I don't know if anybody's going to take up this challenge, but I hope you do. Let me know if the link does not work because I do know that you have the ability to edit and add to this jam. So I've got a Jamboard here, and this Jamboard, if some of you may not be familiar, but if you're using G Suite in your schools, there is an app there called Google Jamboard. And it's an interactive whiteboard where you can put in ideas, images, text, and as well as draw. So if you're a kid and you have like ideas, or you're a teacher and you want to sketch out ideas and collaborate with your team, you can use a Jamboard for that. So we call every jam file a jam. So we have a Guru Chat Jam open right now, and I'm actually waiting for anybody to join it. I put in a link. So where do we get that link? It's right here. You just have to go to bit.ly/ jam guru chat. By the way, for our people who are watching us abroad, guro
Teacher.
means teacher. It means teacher in Tagalog or in Filipino. That's why it's really teacher chat, but guro is a Filipino word. So choose one or two ideas that you have to sketch. You cannot write words, okay? You have to draw. And head over to our jam. This is a real challenge. I'm giving you a lot more time this week. That's why we only have 4 questions because I think we are going to be sketching ideas and then they will need a little bit of, time. So, guys, I just need you to kind of label it because once you join the jam, you're going to be an anonymous, you'll be labeled as an anonymous animal. Like right now, I'm looking at the Jamboard and I can see an anonymous Dumbo octopus join. So please kind of just put a small label, like add a small text or a post-it note on top of your drawing, just to say who it's from. Now, if you want to keep yourself anonymous, that's also great. That's also good. All right. That's one of the things that I do like about Pear Deck, actually. That if you're using Pear Deck with Google Slides, right? That when you show the responses of the kids, like you don't know who's listing down the responses. They're anonymous, and it makes them more makes the whole field more open to ideas. Okay, I'm gonna be. Are you guys? You guys are busy, aren't you?
I was trying to go get into Jamboard, but my phone won't let me. So I'm just
Yeah. Are
waiting
you?
for the sharing of the people.
Yeah, okay, okay. So I just want to shout out to Teacher Mark Jam is joining us right now. Wow, I haven't seen him in a while.
Hooray!
Yay!
Yes.
So let me just like this one. I'm so happy that he's joining us. He said, challenge them, allow them to. He's answering our Q1. He said to challenge them, allow them to share their thoughts, solve contemporary issues that directly affect them. Yeah, and I like Lisa. I like your answer as well here. As a PYP teacher, as much as possible, we anchor our units into real life issues. Let's not forget that and explore solutions with the students.
Yes.
Again, we should really stop saying what do you want to be when you grow up. I
When you
really
grow
think
up.
I really think that guys, you should stop asking kids that. What do you want to be when you grow up?
What do you want
You
to be
know,
right now?
actually, it's right now. I think the more apt question is like, what problem do you want to solve? And the funny part about that is kids' problems are different from our problems. Like one of my nephews, his biggest problem was that his mom kept cooking the same thing, and he got kind of tired at some of the food that his mom was cooking, and so he made a small app for his mom, and that app would tell his mom, "Hey, you just cooked this." Right? He just cooked
That's
this three
nice.
days ago. So his mom has to just put in, I'm going to cook sinigang. So for those people who are watching who aren't Filipino, sinigang is a very famous sour soup, hot and sour soup. No, just sour soup.
Yes.
It's very famous here in the Philippines that has pork and shrimp. It's really good, pork or shrimp. And his mom loves to cook that. And he would say, okay, you just cooked that like 3 days ago. And there are funny quotes there, like if you cook fish again, we're gonna grow scales if you cook fish again. So it's really funny. That's the problem that he currently has, and he was able to solve that problem. And that's what I mean. Like think about the problems that you would like the kids to solve, and maybe one day they would grow up to be the scientist that that solves the coronavirus issue, right?
Yes. Hopefully.
I like the drawing so far. I don't know who's drawing right now, but I love the ideas under, oh, with colors and stuff. You know what? I'm gonna show this Jamboard to all of you guys
Yes,
once it finishes
please.
because I really think that. So again, if you want to view it, it's at bit.ly. Everybody's there. So bit.ly/jam guru chat.
Guru chat.
I can see that there's another page. So somebody did create another page. Fonz is right there, and he's been sketching out ideas and playing around with the Jamboard as well. I really like that with Jamboard. This is something that Chris, I just want to shout out to you because I like that you showed me that you can draw. inside Jamboard. Like actually have a sketch of yourself, like a cartoon version of yourself. What do you call that? A caricature. So you can create a caricaturized version of yourself using Google Jamboard. Yeah, you should do a tutorial around that. That's a pretty good thing to do. I like this. Our ideas can all be different, and that's okay. Yeah, that's something that
True.
I saw in the jam. That's true. Sometimes, you have to
Agree.
understand the best ideas may not come from you, and it's okay. It's perfectly fine.
Yep.
Um,
Yes.
you may not you I always like learning from people. That's one of the good things about having a professional learning network and a PLN. And this is the reason why we're all here. Like Riza and Lisa, I both met them on Twitter. I wouldn't
Yes.
have known that there are teachers passionate in technology here in the Philippines as well. And Lisa teaches abroad. But having a Filipino who teaches abroad, it's a totally different flavor of things, right? And learning
Yes.
from that as well, that's like an eye opener for us. So let's take a look.
Yep.
I think Riza Picho hit the nail on the head. I like this, Lisa. Honoring the students' ideas instead of being dismissive of them. That's right. And yeah, you also have to challenge their brains as well. Like I think kids like to be challenged too. Uh,
Yes, they do.
challenging them, right? Challenging them. I want to hear more about what you do, Riza, on your Flipgrid. Like, how do you actually use that along with your Google Classroom? Because I know that Google Classroom is your primary LMS,
Yes. But
but
it's only
using
about
all the other tools.
Google Classroom. It's only about, posting all the instructions, but the
Okay.
engagement and the interactions that we
Yeah.
have, it's via Flipgrid. That's where I
Okay.
watch and assess their skills, and I use
Okay.
the video comment to really
Yeah.
speak to them my
Mm-hmm.
observations, and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I using that video, I show them how to do a particular exercise the
Movement.
proper
Yeah.
way or the correct way so they would avoid injuries. So they like it because the feedback is personal. So
Oh yeah.
they still get to see me speaking to them even though it's through video, because during sync I can't
Mm-hmm.
really see how they move because 35 students in a frame would only
Yeah.
show you a bit of
A
their
small.
cameras. So I would always encourage them. I appreciate that you're moving during synchronous time, but to give Miss Risa really ample time to watch and give feedback on how you're progressing, I need to see, let's communicate through Flipgrid. So, whatever is your idea, whatever is your physical activity,
Yeah.
respond there, and then I'm going to engage with you as well. So, most of my time right now is really on to Flipgrid, but curating of their ideas, physical
Yeah.
activity ideas, we do it via Seesaw because I want them to have one
I see.
platform.
Oh,
Yes,
okay. So as a portfolio,
so
you
that
mean? Yeah.
Seesaw, they have a portfolio of how they started and how they're progressing. And I can also, what's great with
Mhm.
Seesaw right now is I can also
Oh,
take a video from there or a voice message. So they love
a voice message.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, they love hearing that instead of typing, because sometimes words have no tones, voice tones, things like that. But when I use my voice to respond
Mhm.
or give feedback and they hear my excited voice or the way I praise the way they performed or the way I'm
Mhm.
encouraging them to keep moving even if it's challenging. So I really like reading the reflections because it gives me an insight on what's really working well on what I do and
Mhm.
what's not working that I need to stop doing. So things like that.
I see. I like that you are saying that because very usually for some teachers, once they discover one app, they would stay with that app. But you're actually demonstrating the ability to mash up, like to do a good mashup of all of these ideas all in one place. That's kind of, for me, that's amazing.
Yes.
And a lot of people would say, okay, it's a Microsoft tool, like Flipgrid is now Microsoft, and you have Google Classroom as well. They can't work together. But what you're doing is that you're
They
demonstrating that
do.
yes, they can. Yeah, yes, they can. But how many classes do you have? Like, if you have 35 people in a class, does that mean that a lot of your work right now is involved in creating that instruction and giving that feedback? Like, how many do
Yes.
you feedback to?
Oh, I give feedback around 270 students. So each one
Oh
of
my
them
God.
responds videos in each of the activity, and then I really have to give feedback because how else can they progress to the next stage if I did not give feedback? So sometimes they get confused. Like this week I posted already a link for the summative. So most of the students who did not post in the formative link, I would give feedback. Oh, this one is summative already. You have to go back to the formative so you'll know what else do you need to improve on before I assess your skill. So things like that.
Okay.
So even if even if it takes time, it takes a lot of my time. I just tell my students, wait for the email of my feedback before you start on this task. So
Mm,
we also communicated to parents that feedback will be sent via like this. And
yeah,
we are teaching right now our students to read their emails because most of the feedback are sent via email. Because
I see.
Flipgrid is really good with giving feedback. So in one video, I can rate it with a rubric. I can comment using a video. So I gave both right away. As I watch their videos, I rate using the
You're just
rubric,
waiting.
and then
Yeah.
I rate using the rubric, and then I still record a video on what to improve, on what skill to improve. So things like that.
Yeah. Okay. I like this comment here. Fonts is saying like feedback is important. That's right. I love that you
Yes.
give feedback, and kids definitely love to hear their teacher. Like that really gives a personal touch. But you have to understand, Fonts, she's giving like feedback to 270 like students.
Yes.
That's for me is again, teachers are are a different breed. Okay.
I,
I know that somebody wrote this or drew an earth, a picture of an earth with four question marks. I'm going to show it later, but I want to know a little bit more about this and what it means. But it's kind of just building a connection throughout,
Fine.
the world. Font is saying, you rock, Riza.
thank you.
And he also said, university professors do this for me. I think he made a correction there. Why not use it for our young learners as well? That's true. Right. So I do have Q4 right now. Let me just go to the second to the last question that we have today before we go to our ship it
Ship it
or
or
rip it.
rip it.
Yeah, every week we do have a ship it or rip it segment where we take a look at an idea and we take a look at whether we can mash things up or is it a good idea, right? And we kind of evaluate it. So right now, just as a reality check, I think we've been doing this for the last few minutes, looking at what's most important about our ideas and finding ways to evolve and refine it further. Lisa, do you want to take this question? Like taking a look at what's important about your ideas right now and what else can you do? Because that's how it is, right? Sometimes you have this one idea but you may want to like take it further and improve on it because that's how we do it basically. That's how you improve on your idea. Take a look at the best ones and find ways to evolve it. I don't think we can do experimentation next week, but we're gonna be doing a totally different topic next week. We will stop at ideation for now because experimentation usually requires a physical thing that you can work on,
Yes.
but let me think about how we can let me think about how we can execute that.
I remember
So
the marshmallow challenge, Mary.
the marshmallow challenge, yeah, I know, I love the marshmallow challenge. If you haven't done it before, send me a message, guys, if you want to know more about the marshmallow challenge, which is usually a beginning icebreaker or activity in your design thinking sessions. to open up their minds about what's possible and how to work together, send me a message and I will send you the instructions on how to do that. I'll email them to you. So either DM me on Twitter or here on GTech Guru in Facebook as well as in YouTube. So you just uh, pop a message in there and I'll send you the full lesson plan on how to do the marshmallow challenge. I think I shared one to you, right, Riza? I'm not sure. That was
Yes,
quite.
you did. That's why I use it in one of my seesaw sessions in school.
That's really fun. Like you think a marshmallow is light until you have to put it at the top of a tower.
Yes,
Then you
using the
realize
spaghetti noodle.
using the spaghetti, using the spaghetti sticks, you put the marshmallow at the top of the tower. So for those of you who aren't aware, that's what the marshmallow challenge is. Yeah. So
I think
there.
Lisa is sharing something.
Yeah, Lisa, go ahead.
Um, it, uh, that would be complicated, but yeah, and
I think Lisa's connection is a bit choppy.
Yeah. Lisa, you're breaking up.
Yes.
Yeah, you're
You're
breaking up a
breaking.
bit. So if you want, you can also, if you want, you can write it. You can write it down. Yeah, I got a message already. Curious about the marshmallow challenge. So I'll just tell this. I'll just tell Sandra. Sandra will send it to you. We'll send it to you after the chat. Yeah. So again, if you're curious about the marshmallow challenge, just let me know, and I will send you the lesson plan. Okay, just ping me on any channel that I'm in right now. Okay, so we do have. Before I go back to Lisa, I hope you guys can all hear me. All right, so I've got my ship it or rip it right here now, and my ship it or rip it is something of a, I don't know. I would find it a little controversial. I didn't even ship it with anything right now. I just want to know what your opinion is. What do you think about Bitmoji Classrooms?
everybody loves it mostly. Everybody loves it.
So
I mean, not everybody, but many.
yeah. So ship it for you.
Many love
I
it.
always
No, no, not
I
sure.
always have to think about copyright violations.
Right by
Chris is saying it's cutesy. Bitmoji Classrooms. Yeah, I think I have a beef around this. I'm not gonna rip it, but I'm also I just want to give kind of my opinion about Bitmoji Classroom because I think that so many teachers are spending so much time making their Bitmoji Classrooms without thinking about
it.
its about about your learning objectives, right? They're thinking about
Yes.
how
What is the purpose?
entertaining, right? Uh, oh, Chris is saying cutesy is not a compliment. So for you, is it a rip it, Chris?
Okay.
Don't ever call me cutesy, okay? I will remember that. It's not a compliment. Okay, so basically, I am not really shipping it or ripping it. I understand the entertainment factor. I like that people get engaged by looking at, a Bitmoji of you in your classroom, looking at an animated
Right.
Bitmoji,
Visual.
right? But as far as
Agree.
engagement is concerned, like if you're just gonna use it as a place to put your links and you're not really using it to teach something, then no. For me, it defeats the purpose of creating it, especially if you've been spending so much time making it, right?
Yes.
I have one here. It
Agree.
will only go so far before it gets old. It is a fad. Yes, I agree.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
Yeah, it is a
Because of
fad.
authenticity. If it takes too much time if you are an expert on using Google Slides and Bitmoji and linking stuff, like if it takes you about 30 minutes to an hour to make it, then yeah, go ahead, use it, do it.
Lisa, you're breaking up. Lisa, you're breaking up. I can only understand like every other word, but I think I get a little bit of the context of what you are saying. That if you're what is that? If you're using it to oh god, Chris is saying on. Is it all right for you to type it out? I'm gonna flash it on the screen. Chris said, on the whole, I find Bitmojis kind of annoyingly overused. I know that Chris, you've been using Bitmojis for a long, long time. I mean, even in your old website, I know that you have been using Bitmojis a lot, and for myself, I've been using Bitmojis a lot as well before. But I just
Hi, I'm
find
back.
that there's so many people who are just overusing it right now and um, not really using it for learning. So hey Lisa, I'm just
Hi,
shipping or
I'm
ripping
back.
it.
I'm ripping
I'm
it.
shipping and ripping Bitmoji Classrooms because I'm not really that much of a fan. Like I recently did a training for kindergarten teachers, and they love it because it looks like them, and you can basically make yourself move and stuff. So I did give them kind of a disclaimer that I'm not a big fan of it, and I really don't think you should spend too much time on it. However, if you can use Bitmojis in such a way that you can teach the kids how to make whatever it is that you're learning to make, then yes, I'm good with it. How about you, Riza? Are you a fan or not of
Actually,
Bitmojis?
before you use Bitmoji Classroom, this is what I realized from personal experience because I created a virtual Bitmoji for PE class orientation. And since my kids is not aware of hyperlinked
Okay.
things in the Bitmoji classroom, it made it chaotic for them. So
Okay.
they did not appreciate the experience because since it's not very specific on what to click, things like that. So it made it chaotic for them, and it made me realize that before you even show a Bitmoji classroom, you still have to introduce the skill of what a hyperlinked picture is, what a hyperlinked word is, and that when they click it, it will lead into
True.
a browser or a video or a particular
Yeah.
thing that you want them to view. So things like that.
Yeah. So
So
again, the concept. So
yes,
technological fluency. Yeah, we go back to that and understand the
yes.
concept of what is this
And
for, right?
although it looks really neat and organized,
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to use it, as long as you've introduced the basic skills needed for a Bitmoji classroom.
I
So I
see.
think for the teachers who have successfully used the Bitmoji classroom in their class, that means their students were technologically prepared as compared
Mm-hmm.
to mine. So if I'm going to reuse it again, maybe third term or second term, I think it will be much better because my students were now introduced to those different
They know about
skills.
it,
Yes,
right? So
yes.
Pilar
But
was saying,
at the
"Man, I'm late
beginning,
for this." She said, "Like I
I'm going
used
to
to
rip
rip."
it.
Yeah. So she said the same. Like, "Man, I'm late for this. I used to rip it, but I'm gonna ship it because it can work as a material hub if you work it properly."
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
it says here teachers don't obey copyright law, and it's not a good example for
Example for
students.
students.
That's true.
Exactly
Like they've been
also.
putting in so much
Um,
stuff in their Bitmoji classrooms that may not even be theirs that they should not be using, and that's kind of
yes.
really off. That's a good thing that you mentioned there, Fons. And Lisa, are you back? You are back. What's your
Yes.
opinion again? I'd like to know.
I did. I wrote,
Oh,
so it's
okay.
good.
There you go. So
Yeah,
Lisa
so
said,
I think it's,
if it takes too much time to make, that's what Lisa said, then rip. However, if you're comfortable doing it and there's a meaningful purpose behind it, by all
Yes.
means
Go ahead.
create your Bitmoji classroom. That's true. Actually, it really depends on how comfortable you are with the tool. Like, I can create a Bitmoji classroom in a jiffy. Just because for me, like manipulating Google Slides, it's kind of easy. But if you're a fresher on
A beginner.
on like doing it and you're taking
Yes.
so much time, and then just the value would be. I think I got this from Chris before. The value is like 3 seconds, and then it's gone.
Right.
It's just
Like
entertaining.
I
It's
feel
not
like yeah, I feel like there are other places where you
use
can
it
put your
for it.
energy.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just gonna post something here on Twitter: engagement versus entertainment. There's a difference between engagement and entertainment, and I think
Yes.
uh, for my ship it or rip it, I'm more a rip it for Bitmoji classrooms. I like it if you're not spending too much time on it. You're right, Riza. I'm the same. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna write it down. So basically, that's it for our week. I just want to thank everybody who joined us today. Thank you so much. And thank you for your comments and your answers and for engaging with us on the Jamboard as well. Let me just stop this screen and see if I can share this. Um,
The Jamboard.
yeah, I like these little idea heads. Share the screen. There you go. Can you see it? This is my
It's loading. Wow.
okay. So I can see that there is like
Page
fonts really
2.
played around, but this is the one that I was talking about earlier that there's an earth with different question marks. And I
Questions.
feel like this is really about connection. Like
That's
how do we
mine.
connect? Is it yours?
That's mine.
Oh, that's good. So
Yeah.
you can get people to
Jesus.
explain. There. All right. Like that's good. So basically, I just want to, well, Fons was saying, wow, I had a blast. Hashtag Guru Chat rocks. Thank you so much. Thank you, Fons. Like, it's you guys who answer and who participate. You make this a great experience for us as well, right? So, again, I would
Yes,
like to thank
definitely.
everybody who joined us this week, and we hope to see you again next week. We are definitely thinking of more and more ways to kind of change up things in Guru Chat. And as you can see, we are doing things that you don't normally see in Twitter chats. So we want to keep pushing that limit and seeing what else we can do with this. All right. So again, I'm just going to leave you with this. Just take a look at one conversation at a time. All ideas, need to be heard so that they may be built upon. All right. So we'll see you again next week. And thank you again for joining us. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone. Happy
Bye
Have
weekend.
bye.
a good weekend.
Happy weekend.